Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Today I want to address a topic that confuses some people on my channel. They hear me all the time say, I don't like Springfield Armory. I won't buy products from Springfield Armory, at least not directly. I have to find them used if I want them because I won't contribute directly to that company because I despise the ownership. Yet then they hear me turn around and recommend their products when someone asks me about them. And they're like, what gives? Do you actually hate them? Did they do something so bad you won't deal with them and we shouldn't deal with them either? Or do you think people should buy their products? Well, it's not really as simple as you might think. I personally, like I said, do not like them and will not buy their products. But I think I need to answer two questions here. First, I need to answer, what did Springfield Armory do? Because some people don't know. And then I need to address, why do I still recommend their products, though, when people ask me? First off, what did Springfield Armory do? Well, their state was about to pass a law. They had a bill that was basically going to run Pro 2A and gun-related businesses out of the state. Well, Springfield Armory sent their representative to the Capitol, and he told the politicians, we have considerable resources. We have considerable reach. We're going to oppose this. We're going to oppose you unless you give us an exemption. Unless this law that's going to run off all the other Pro 2A businesses is written in a way that it doesn't affect us, we're going to oppose it. If you do that, if you give us an exemption, we won't oppose it. Because we'll actually profit from it. If you run off all of our competition and we're not subject to the same regulations and rules, we'll prosper. They made that deal with the state. Legislation, wasn't going to be opposed by Springfield Armory as long as they got an exemption. That came out. When people found out about that, Springfield Armory ownership went, oh, I had no idea, which is bullshit. There's no way an employee was doing this stuff without his approval. This was an ongoing, long-time process where they were negotiating this, and you think the owner wasn't asking his employee, why are you spending my money? What are you doing? What's the deal? How is this going to affect us? You think he wasn't doing that? If he wasn't, then he's the worst owner ever of a company. And plus, his excuse didn't really hold water because he said, as soon as I found out, I fired the guy responsible. First off, the guy you fired didn't have the authority to do this without you signing off on everything. Two, you didn't do anything as soon as you found out. You found out weeks before you did anything. You knew long before. That's a known fact. You didn't do anything, the owner didn't do anything until everybody else found out and people started reacting to it. And then he scapegoated his employee, which he didn't actually fire, he just moved him around. It was a good year later, he was still working there. I don't know about now, but a year after this happened, he was still an employee of this company. So everything he told you when he found out that it was happening was a lie. He was one of the people responsible for what happened. He was trying to get super rich off of it because if his competition went away in the state, he would have basically a monopoly. So he was thrilled about that. And when he got caught, he tried to play I'm an innocent victim in this, which doesn't hold water. And that's why I will not buy a Springfield Armory product. I will not give this guy a cent of my money because he's someone who doesn't give a damn about the Second Amendment or the rights of the people or other businesses. He cares about himself and himself only. I already had problems with him that he bought a logo and then shipped over cheap Croatian crap and stuck that logo on it and tripled the price. But people bought the product, so that's whatever, that's business. But after this, couldn't possibly buy from him. But I still sometimes recommend the products. If people come into me and say, hey, what's a good 10 millimeter 1911 that I can afford for this amount of money? Well, if the only one in that category is like the Ronin, well, then I'm going to recommend the Ronin. If someone comes to me and says, well, what about this Garrison 1911? I saw one at the gun shop. Is it any good? Well, I'm not going to lie to them. I'm going to tell them, yes, it's good. And why do I do that? Why do I not say, boycott them? For one, I don't like cancel culture. I don't like boycotts. I'll tell you what they did. And then if you decide you don't want to buy from them, great. But I'm not going to here's a petition everyone can sign to say I'll never, ever buy products from them again. I don't like that stuff. It's up to you to make your decision who you want to deal with. I have no problem with sharing information about what things people did, but you make your decision. especially when it comes to guns. Now, if this was something else, it might be different. If this was like mayonnaise and we found out the Hellman's family liked to kill and eat babies, which I'm not saying they do, I'm not saying they don't, but I'm not saying they do either. I don't know what billionaire families do, but let's say it came out that they like to kill and eat babies, poor babies. I would say don't use their mayonnaise. And also I'd probably say like, hey, how about we look into arresting these people? But that's because it doesn't matter what mayonnaise you use. It's not really going to have an effect on your life. It doesn't affect any of your rights or anything else. But here's where it's a little different when it comes to a gun. That gun a person is asking me about, this might be the first gun that ever got them excited about buying one. Might be their first gun they ever have. And if I discourage them from it, it might make it to where, I don't even bother going back to the gun shop. Or they might settle for a gun that's not as good for them. That might have been the best gun for them. It was a gun they liked the best. They would have practiced with it. It might have someday saved their life. And I don't want to stand in the way of that. I think having a firearm is important, and having a good firearm that is actually functional and, reliable is important. And as long as I think the Springfield Armory products fall into that category, if someone asks me about them and they want them, I will say that's a good product, because it is a good product. Especially if you're looking at one for a certain price. It used to be the Springfield Loadeds were like the best bargain you could get in the 1911 world. And I didn't stop saying that after what they did. I just started saying I wouldn't personally buy it because of this. I said that whenever I had an opportunity to say that. But when someone asks me about that product, I will deal just with the product in the manner of which I'm thinking, you're a person, you need something to protect yourself, you're excited about this item, this is something you'll probably buy and use, and you're asking me if it's good, I'm just going to give you the yes, it's good. Because this is an important purchase. This is something, like I said, that could save your life someday. It could also get you into guns. You passing up on this gun because someone on the internet said it was bad might mean you don't get another one. Because you might say, well, the other one was a little out of my price range, so I just didn't get any. I don't want that to happen. I want you to get the gun you like, that's a good gun, and I want that to become a hobby for you. I want you to become very interested in firearms, and therefore I want you to become interested in the Second Amendment and become a member of the Second Amendment community, an active member. Or just buy a gun, keep it in the nightstand, and be protected and be prepared if something bad ever happens, and hopefully practice with it enough to know how to use it. Those are very important things, and I'm not going to discourage that just because I have a problem with the ownership of that company. So I can decide that those two are separate things. I can not like what they did. I can wish they went out of business. But I'm also not going to interfere in other people's ability to get the gun they want, a good gun, and actually, like I said, maybe foster a long-term investment in the Second Amendment community. So I keep those two things separate. That's why I can still hate them on one hand and recommend them on the other. Hey everyone, before I go here, I want to remind everyone about TYM-PPP. If you're not familiar, it's a program that we run that we're just getting restarted again here. And it is a program that helps people who can't afford a firearm actually get one. We pool our resources. We allow people to nominate themselves. We pick 4 people every month. And then those people are provided a gift certificate to obtain a Taurus G3C basic protection. Because just because you're poor doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to exercise your Second Amendment rights. Doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to be safe in your own home and in your daily activities. So we do that, you and me. We pool our resources. We help people every month. If you want to support that, please go over to tympistolproject.com. There's 2 options. You can either buy merchandise, and all the merchandise proceeds go to, or profits, I should say, go to actually supporting TYM-PPP, because some of the money has to go to make the t-shirts. That's why I got to say legally profits, not proceeds, because I'm not paying for the shirts to be made out of my pocket. That comes out of what you spend on them. So all those profits go support TYM-PPP. And there's also an option there where you can select either the bronze, silver, or gold medal if you want to go over to Subscribestar and be a supporter over there. It's a $5, $10, or $20 a month donation. And there is going to be stickers being awarded for that. For people who are members, I'm going to be sending them stickers of either the bronze, silver, or gold, whichever category they're in. So that's coming. I'm also doing a freeloader sticker here pretty soon, hopefully, because people in the chat want a freeloader sticker, and we do chats every night from 6 p.m., usually to 7 p.m., or sometimes on Monday and Wednesday it's at 5 p.m., because of Never Enough Ammo's chat. So come to those if you want to also. But if you want to support TYM Triple P, go on over, buy some merchandise, or be a Subscribe Star supporter, because we are, like I said, the only organization in this country that believes that the Second Amendment is for everyone, not just people who can afford it. And with that being said, I am out of here. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope to see you again tomorrow. Till then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.